What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at Daredevil from the Mindless One Wave. Let's check it out.
Now tuning into the encountered culture.
Being erased, I'm being replaced. Counterculture's in your face. It's fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you never see us again.
As promised, today we are going to be looking at Daredevil from the Mindless One Wave. Let's see what's going on. Taking a look at the packaging, of course, we do have Daredevil in his, current state, right? King Daredevil, however you want to call him. From the Marvel Knights line, you do get the nice Daredevil logo at the top. One thought on this before I go into the rest of the box, and probably my main complaint about this wave. It's a really great wave, so there's not a lot of complaints. I personally just wish that this figure was part of the Build-A-Figure, like figures that you needed to get for it instead of the Iron Man. I'm not a big Iron Man collector. I have like the two in the collection that I need for my purposes, but it seems like usually the Iron Man is the figure that doesn't have the Build-A-Figure piece. Totally from their perspective, I get it, right? Like maybe they aren't selling as many Iron Man figures as they want, so lock in that Build-A-Figure piece, and now I gotta buy this Iron Man. But that's all right. I'll take care of it down the road. I'll get the Build-A-Figure piece. Somebody else will get the Iron Man. We all move on. Flip it to this side. Here is your comic book inspired art. Flip it to the back. There is that art again, but a little more detailed. And of course, you do get the little bio blurb on the back. Having gained superhuman senses after losing his sight, Matt Murdock protects Hell's Kitchen as an attorney by day and the hero Daredevil by night. That's what you need to figure out the wave, not figure out, to build your Build-A-Figure, to figure that out. There's your comic book art again, but let's see what he looks like on the outside. Fresh out of the box, cool aesthetic. I'm digging what I'm seeing here as far as the overall look. Looks pretty in line with the comic run. Not super familiar with this run of Daredevil. I have checked out a few books and I'll continue to do so, but I like the aesthetic. It definitely matches the Lady Daredevil, so that's cool. Like if you're continuing on that, you have the Fist Ninjas now, so starting to build that world, right? Hopefully we get that Punisher down the road. But so here's what you get. So you do get the batons that we're used to. I feel like this would have been a good opportunity to maybe finally upgrade these. We just get them with every single Daredevil and a couple of other figures. They work for the purpose, but maybe it's time to retread that tire, see what's going on. Let's get something else going. I do like this bow staff too with the blades on the both ends. That's a nice weapon, so that looks cool. Those aside, I'll just display them with that. I think that's cool enough. Works for me. Let's take a closer look. So of course we only get one set of hands here, but they do serve their purpose, so you're able to hold this staff nicely with both hands open like that. Of course, if you're not going to use these, they can just pop right in the little pouch on the side here. No problem whatsoever. Get those, so I'll still have them on them, just in case. You never know, right? So they slide right in. You do have that. Like I said, this is a nice looking accessory. I like the weapon. Could be used for a couple of other things, so just cool to add a new weapon to the collection. That ever growing box of random accessories and effects, that won't be in that box. It'll definitely be on display, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, so of course it would have been nice to get an extra set of hands, at least some fists, something, but we didn't, so we move on from there. Coming up here, so no butterfly joints on there, but you do get extension out to there. Come all the way around. You do get the upper bicep swivel there. You are double jointed pinless at the elbows. And then, of course, coming down to the wrist, you do get your regular horizontal flex there. All right, coming here, we got an ab crunch, an ab swivel. There you go. So a little bit of an older ab crunch, but you don't get too much of a gap up there. Flip it to the back. You don't get too much of a gap there either. So it looks like they've definitely made improvements on how that works as far as that crunch is concerned. Looking at the head, so you're definitely going to be a little bit limited by the neck piece here, scarf, mask piece, whatever you want to call it. So you look down, you can only go about that much. You can look up just about that far. The hair does get in the way back there. Head will move all the way around though, and you get a little bit of motion to either side. As I said, you do get the waist swivel down there. You get the upper thigh swivel as well. Double jointed, pinless at the knees. It's been pointed out in some other videos, but that's kind of an eyesore right there. So depending on how you're going to display it, that might not look the best. But of course, you do have some other options. But that definitely is not the best looking right there. Okay, so no swivel up at the upper boot there. Coming down to the foot. Pretty much par for the course. You know how it goes. Usual as it be. Alright, so the holster here, this is a separate piece, so you can move that around as you like. And of course those fit in nicely. They are different sizes, so if you don't push that one down too far, you can get them to line up. So it'll look pretty nice in that regard. Alright, so there you go. For the comparison, I did decide to go with the armored Daredevil for two reasons. One, it's one of my favorite versions of Daredevil. Definitely a lot of nostalgia vibe there for me. Two, it was the best one I could get to without knocking 16 other figures over in the process. So sometimes that makes the call for you, right? So as you can see, he does line up height-wise pretty much in line with this Daredevil, so that's cool to see consistency along the character from two random versions of Daredevil. And of course, I did want to take a look at Daredevil backed up against Lady Daredevil, just so you can get an idea of what these two look like together. Aesthetically very pleasing. They both are very much in line with the costumes. The aesthetic is there. They look great together, so they'll display nicely on a shelf. Looking forward to how that will pan out. I definitely need to do some rearranging though. As I said in my fist video, I got to carve out a section for some more modern stuff. Give these guys a nice little cutout on the shelf. But for the time being, I'll find a spot for them, at least get a picture of it just so I can see what it looks like. But these two look really nice together. Certainly happy with how they back up against one another. Alright folks, so there you have it. There is your Daredevil from the Mindless One Build-A-Figure Wave Marvel Legends series. This is under the Marvel Knights banner. Certainly enjoying this figure and how it matches up with the Daredevil, the Lady Daredevil I should say. I'm pleased with the aesthetic. I think that's the big thing for me just off the bat. As I said earlier in the video, only starting to get familiar with this run. So really digging how these two turned out. Would it be my definitive Daredevil? Absolutely not, because it has no nostalgia for me in that regard. But still a fantastic Daredevil, and if this is the run, like if you're a big fan of this run, then I hope you're happy with it. It is a nice figure. So of course, if you are dropping in, certainly appreciate you for being here, whether this is your first time or you've been here before. You've been here plenty of times before. Certainly grateful for that. Of course, if you are over on Instagram or you are over on Whatnot, feel free to check it out over there as well. But don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. Until next time, take it easy.
I'm being erased, I'm being replaced. Counter-culture's in your face. It's fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be a drinking with my friends. When we go out, you'll never see us again.